Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Ahmed from KAIZEN Easy, and we are thrilled to have you here for today's webinar inside Japan's legendary factories. So this session is your gateway to um, see and hear about the real Kaizen in action. It's not textbook theory, but the lived experience of lean manufacturing at its birthplace, Japan. You will hear first-hand accounts from inside inside Toyota production system, Lexus quality control centers, and Mazda's innovation hubs, places where operational excellence is not just practiced but perfected. We are joined by an exceptional panel of experts. So we have Kalum Jayakudi. He's a continuous improvement practitioner and he is a co-founder of Lean Tours with over a decade of hands-on lean engineering experience. We also have Professor Frank Bertagnoli, and he is an academic expert and author, offering deep insights from his research and tours of Japan top-tier facilities. And also, we have with us as well Sam Abbey. He is a technology expert and Lean Tours co-founder who bridges traditional lean with modern technology to drive breakthrough results. So before we begin, I would like to please let us know where you are joining us from today. So just type your country in the chat. I'm joining you today from Melbourne, Australia. Good. United States, Czech Republic, Poland, Japan, Greece, Mexico, Italy, Germany. Good. So together, our speakers will guide us through the transformation journey, how witnessing world-class manufacturing firsthand can reshape your approach to continuous improvement. And here is what's on our agenda today. So we will start with a quick presentation by Lean Tours, and then that will be followed by a panel discussion on bridging lean principles with um, 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 uh, lean principles with these tours. So we'll have live Q&A to answer your questions, and also we will have a special announcement about an upcoming lean tours opportunities. So whether you are a leader, consultant, or a curious learner, you will walk away with practical takeaways and a clearer vision of what world-class manufacturing really looks like. So let's dive in. So I will leave the floor to Callum to give us a glimpse on what is Lean Tours, what they offer, and then we'll follow that with a panel Q&A session.
Hi everyone, my name is Callum from Melbourne, Australia, and then thanks for joining, and then good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever the part you are joining. Yeah, I will just share my presentation. Can you see my presentation? Yeah, oh good.
Yes, we can see it.
So here we are the Lean Tours.
Ahmed, I'm sorry. There's a question. I think. Can you record this session? Oh, okay. Sorry, you already answered. Sorry.
Callum, you're on mute. Can you please unmute yourself? Thank you.
All right. So again, sorry about that, and then. Yeah, again, good morning to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever the part you are from. Now, our purpose of the Lean Tours is actually to give you guys the the real gap between the theory and the Gemba learning, because as you guys know that there are thousands of books out there, and then you can read and learn lean, and then seminars and webinars, but it's really different when it comes to the reality, the practical situation. So then our purpose is to give you the right understanding about this practicality of this lean application in the real world.
Sorry, Callum, you're on mute. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Callum, my name is, and I've been in this industry for about last 15 plus years, and then Sam is a head of IT in Japan, one of the big company. So then so we founded this company just to make sure our purpose is achieved, like to give you the best experience ever. What we do, so we do factory visits. The factories like Toyota, Lexus, Nissan, Isuzu, and Ajinomoto, and many more. And then we do the workshops there, and probably the first 2 days very comprehensive, and all the theory parts and the practical parts. We're gonna discuss what we're gonna see in these factories, and then gonna give you a good understanding about the Gemba daily Gemba reflections, and then A3 thinking, and then also that statistical tools and application, how we're gonna use these lean philosophies and a little bit of Six Sigma as well. And why lean? Why learn in Japan? So this is the most important part. So the Toyota production system is the source of this whole lean principles, and then we can see from the birthplace, and then how they're applying this the lean principles in Gemba, and all these pull, Kanban, Andon, Jidoka, so everything is in action. And the other thing is the cultural discipline and respect. So because the thing is, then in the Japanese to the mainly, I'm in Australia, and then I know the Europe and the USA, pretty much same, the cultural aspects. So how we have to be more vigilant about these cultural aspects when it comes to the lean application, so we can see that in our own eyes. And then benchmark visits of world-class factories. We can see how they are performing, how they remove their all these wastages. And then lean across multiple industries. As I said, it's not like one manufacturing company. We are going this automotive, food, electronics, and then logistics, and then whatever the field, the industry you are coming from, you will be catered properly. And then you can see the true KAIZEN mindset, how they're keen on their daily activities, how they are going on improvements. And then we can see we can observe the leadership behavior, and that's one of the most important things in the continuous improvement field, as you all know. So then we can see how the Japanese top management is helping people to get their journey going. And then structured professional learning design for international lean practitioners as you and me. And then how this this waste elimination, value flow, the problem solving gonna take place. And transformational professional experience, because we've been in the industry, myself, Frank, Sam, Ahmed, and then we've been in the industry for more than 15 plus years. So then we can transfer the tacit knowledge to you, so you can learn something from out of that. And then the components of our lean tour, as I said, the TPS classroom training. We got a classroom set up for you to see and learn before you get into the tours. And then we can factory benchmarking. We see what companies, how production and then other processes going. and then A3 coaching sessions. That's gonna one of the main things, and then cultural immersion experiences as well. And value proposition, the authentic lean learning. So this is really not a tourism tour. So this is going to be educational and in the theory and the practical. So you have direct access to the Japanese experts and the real manufacturing excellence and the structured learning framework with post-tour support as well, because we before the tour and then after the tour we're gonna talk to you individually in through Zoom or whatever the platform is, and then we're gonna help you to understand first of all the before the Zoom sessions. Then we're gonna understand what your expectations are, and then after the tour, so we're going to have another 2 or 3 learning sessions to help you how you're going to implement in your environment what you learn in Japan. So that's also one of the best things we can share with you. And so these are our contact details. So we will discuss with Ahmed going forward. So all right, so I'll leave that with you, Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Kalu. If you can, yeah, um, I would like to direct a question for you, Callum, given what you said. So
Yeah.
that's all nice and cool, but can you give us or share with us a specific example of a Kaizen activity you witnessed in Japan that fundamentally challenged your understanding of continuous improvement versus what you used to learn before visiting?
Yeah, that's really, as I mentioned earlier, is the what we learn by the books and then seminars and webinars. So that's one part. It's good. I'm saying it's good, but when you get into that Japanese environment and so that's like something very different, and you learn a lot of what they think, and then how the entire industry and the company, the manufacturing flow works. Then I'll give you one quick example, and they're very simple, but I just want to let you guys to think how critical they have taken these Kaizen things seriously. And when in our last tour, when I was in Japan, actually in the Mazda company, so there was a guy who taking us through the like a walkthrough their production process, and then he had to go through a door, and then about 50 meters, but let's say 10 meters from the door, then he has to wait till the people to come, and then after that he has to go back to the door to close the door because there's a system like panel and things like that. So they were concerning about that 10-meter walking time and the effort. So what they did was they put another switch and then a panel there in 10 meters from the door to get rid of his walking time and then effort. So then what he does is, okay, he enters the building, and then he walks through the corridor and then waits in that 10-meter distance, and then let the people come in and then press the button, and from there and then the door closes automatically. This principle is very it's not very simple, it's complicated, it's very simple thing, but their thinking pattern is, that's what we have to extract from that thing. They even consider that 10 10-meter walking distance, so because that's a waste. So can you imagine when it comes to the big the bigger picture of their production, then how much of thinking they are putting in every day. So, and that's one thing. And there's another one very special and an important thing is when we in our tour, there's another company in when we get there, it was about 1 o'clock, and the production process, entire production was stopped. Then we just asked, okay, what happened, why you are not producing anything, why the process stopped? And they said because the Toyota stopped for a 4-hour period, and this company is one of the suppliers, and they stopped that too for 4 hours. So then see how this just in time works there. So then we because in our countries, just imagine if the company stops and then we're not gonna stop, right? So we just keep doing, but they are that integrated. So that's really amazing thing. So that's even though I've been in I'm in every tour I'm learning in every tour lots of things. So because that's amazing. So
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Yeah, that's impressive when you see this attention to details and the care about um, the these fine improvements. That's really that reflects the true nature of the culture there. So
exactly.
yeah, my next question for you, Sam, would be for you, Sam, which is what surprised you the most about how Japanese factory workers approach problem solving compared to Western practices?
Roman,
And
hope you
since
can.
you're already yeah, and since you're already in Japan, also
Right.
it would be also uh, helpful to shed some light on your experience there with the
Yeah,
culture. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm living here in Japan for like 10 years now. One thing I can guarantee you that like whenever you like step into Japan, it will be surprise. You will be surprised for sure. Surprised in a positive way. Japan, it's not a different country. It's like a different world. Everything, their culture, their how they think, everything is totally different. But to the question you asked, like how the problem solving approach, right? I would say they are a collective and systematic mindset. Then let's say um, even a very minor incident, like there's no, let's say, production impact, there's no client impact, but even let's say, okay, you have redundant lines, and one in one of the redundant line, you see one small component got broken, and that will record it as an incident. And that incident, there's a big process of like going like handling of that incident and go for the root cause analysis, then go for the problem solving, problem management approach. So this cycle goes for like any incident happens, any incident, and then you will have to report these findings to management and your like the root cause analysis, what you have done to fix that one, all these based on that, all the documentation need to be updated, and then if required the entire the flow that trainings need to be done to all the team members, and then ensure the same incident will not be repeated. So if you think from one side, you will see like, isn't it like waste of time? Like this, there was no even a production impact, just a minor thing. That is why we have like a redundancy. But the thing is, when you keep doing it for a longer time, the every like outcomes you can expect. I mean, you can clearly know what will be the outcome of all these incidents, and it's not only the management or some people know. The entire flow knows what will be the outcome. So yes, initially maybe a little bit slowing down the process a little bit, but then it will in the long run it will helps to do the work very efficiently, as there's no guesswork or redos. If you now we are in a situation that if you go somewhere or if you do something, it's very predictable. The outcome is very much predictable. There's no any guess. That surprised me the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. So it's not just about the outcomes. You also need to control your like your input, your process, so that you can have a better expectations of the outcomes. So the focus is not only on the like the end result, but the process by which you reach that destination, and also the people by which you achieve that. So thank you so much for sharing this. So my next question is for Frank, and I would like you to walk us through a moment from your Toyota facility tour where you saw the TPS principles in action, the Toyota Production System principles in action, and what made it different from reading about it.
Okay, first of all, thanks for having me. Yeah, and it's very impressive to see that, and mostly I can also say what the others say. It's what Sam said. It's another world. It's another, for me, it's another universe when you're staying in such a facility. If it's Toyota or if it's Lexus, which is the same company. And first of all, maybe we have to say we have to keep on going to step in place to get yeah, not to run behind them. We will run behind them, but they are very fast. So we have to we need the same speed, and that's what we see. We see they really, what Callum said, every step, every second is important. What they do, and what I saw, the principle is one of the main principles, or the historical principle where everything has started is Jidoka, which means you stop if there is a problem in the process. And then you call somebody, or somebody is called, and you wait until this problem is solved. So don't give wrong paths, failures, problems to the next customer station, which is your customer at the next station. And what is different from reading books, you ask, Ahmed, that the thinking is you stand below an andon. Andon is for us, it's like a lamp. It's the Japanese word. But andon board means there are a lot of lamps for every station, or nowadays it's a monitor where you can see the station where a problem is. And it turns yellow if somebody pushes a button or pulls a cord because he has an issue. And that happens very often. When I'm back at university, and I ask the people, the students, what do you think? How often do they make a light and call somebody? They say, oh, it's Toyota. They have no problem, so they will not stop the line. And I said, yeah, okay. What do you think per shift? How often? And they say, okay, 0 or 1 time, or maybe somebody says 5 or 10 times. It was more than 10 times when we stood below these andon boards, and it's really flashing, but they solve the problems, and it's the source for Kaizen, for optimization, to get better every day, to solve the problems. And this is nothing you can read you can read that in books. You can also see that in videos, but if you're really standing there and you see how often they really sometimes only stop the line to solve a problem, and a person comes and helps you and supports you. How can I help you? Sorry that something occurs, but what can we solve? You see this culture. That's very different to many factories we see in other countries or other facilities where failures are reworked, or you have scrap, or something else, and you have that problem every time, and resorting, and and that's maybe also something what you can feel in Japan, as Sam says, this resource efficiency thing or thinking. They use everything of resource, of material, of energy perfectly. And maybe something from what Callum said, maybe some of you think, yeah, okay, they push a button and a motor steering that door, or a magnet or something. No, it was really low cost. It was only a mechanical rope which they pull, so no energy, nothing electronically what could break, and that's the thinking behind. And that's what I felt, and I said, oh wow, we have a lot of work to do, homework.
Yeah. So first they have problems, and they react quickly to them, And the second thing is they are transparent about them, right? So they are not shying out from problems, and they consider these as a source of Kaizen work and continuous
Yeah.
improvement initiatives afterwards. Yeah, in a collaborative way. Yeah, that's impressive. Um, so my next question will be again for Callum. So when you visited these Japanese factories, what after returning home, what was your first operational change you implemented, and what impact did you have? That's for you, Callum.
Yeah, that's really challenging to be honest because of the cultural difference in Australia and the Japan. I'll add a little bit to the what Frank said in where the end and cord. Then when they pull the end and cord, and then that the supervisor rush to the place, and then first thing they do is they bow and say thank you very much for stopping the production line, and the crucial production line that produces car in every 74 seconds, one finished product in every 74 seconds. And whoever that person pulls the production, the end code, and then stops that entire line, and then supervisor rushes to that place, say thank you. What? Because he stopped the line and just he doesn't want to speak because he puts a code because he found some problem. So then they don't want to push that problem to the next station, as Sam says, because they want to fix that. So that mentality, just imagine in our country, if somebody and the 74 second, every 74 second a car's coming out, and then somebody stops the line, and then what's going to happen? So that with that mentality, when I come back to Australia, and then I just trying to implement in one of my customers, and then it's very hard to inculcate that concept in their minds. So what I did first was I just wanted to the because most of the problems are hidden because of the lack of visual management. So the first thing what I did was I just wanted to bring these issues up. So I just created all these dashboards and the visual management. That's the main the principle I started with, because it may be different from company to company, industry to industry. But in my company, where I'm one of my customers in that particular, so then I implemented the visual management. Then I showed them daily how much of waste and how much of waiting. And in one of my customers, they had 1,795 jobs pending. And they have that big ERP systems and this B system, that system, but they are hidden. 1,795 jobs pending. So just imagine. So then when I put that on screen and everyone sees from general manager to the cleaner, and then they say, oh my gosh. So that's the thing. I just started, and then now their eyes open and they try to they have to do something. Their system is they thought they are doing very well, but now they know that okay, we are about 10-15% right, and then they have to improve by 80%. So that's the best thing among lot of things I learned from Japan, but I just implemented the visual management.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Of course, as uh, which is what you said, just very relevant to what Frank highlighted in terms of the transparency and the use of the visual management to uplift that kind of transparency. So as you said, uh, um, across the different levels in the organization, they come to know, they come to realize, they become more aware of what the performance is, and therefore you create an urge to solve that or to improve that performance. Thank you so much, Karim. My next question is for back to Frank. So, what lessons from Toyota or Lexus approach to quality control are immediately applicable, according to your point of view, to manufacturing environments outside of automotive?
Mhm. Yeah, that's often a question outside of automotive, because everybody says, yeah, lean is Toyota, and we're doing something different. Yeah, so we don't make cars. Most of our of the people say, and so it's often a thing. But when we take a closer look to the TPS, the Toyota Production System, then I think it's the basis of the production system. So I already explained the one pillar, which is Jidoka, this quality thinking. And Callum also said something about time, yeah, which is the other just-in-time pillar. But below this house, there is standards, yeah, and you need the description of your processes. You need standards for that. This is also something like 5S. Maybe some of you heard it already, which means to have a clean environment, to stay in standards, to stay in a good mood, sustainable and shiny area, and to have clear standards, which can also be something like colors or something which is visualized. All this could be, and you need this basis, because when do we want to stop for quality our process, whatever we are doing? And I'm also working together with offices, with administrations, yeah, and they also have their product, which is information, and then you have to say what we heard before: stop if your customer has a problem, yeah. But to know how to stop, you need a standard. Why should I stop? Am I in the standard or not? And so you also need the standard to educate your people how to make a process. And afterwards, you can improve your standard. If you have this stop, we solve the problem, we find the root cause, we change the standard to a next higher level, which means Kaizen, do it better. And so this is one more principle for that. And maybe something more. Don't forget that this house is for people. Yeah, there are living people in that house, in that TPS house, and it's also 3-dimensional. Yeah, I heard that from a sensei, from a Toyota guy. He said, you only watch our production system from the front. Yeah, you have to watch it everywhere, and that means there's also a backside of the house. And maybe Sam knows this Japanese thing. Then you ask, oh, sensei, yes, what is on the back of the house? Yeah, and then he said, yeah, it's team and respect. Yeah, we work as a team, and we have respect for processes. We have respect for each other. We have respect for problems. We take care. And I think that together, standards is not to write something down. It's for the people to make it better, to make it easy, to make one step less, to have it more ergonomical way, to don't walk back to that door. I like this example from Callum. It's really that thing. Every inch, every meter, wherever you're from, every distance, grab it, put it, make it in a good way. That's standards.
Understand. So not only the key principles are applicable or transferable to other industries, but also some key tools, as you mentioned, like 5S, and also having standards are necessary, or are easily transferable to other industries as well. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
have standards at home at my kitchen, so.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still having a happy wife, so everything's fine. It helps us every day. You can use lean at home. It's not reducing people. It's make it easier.
Yeah. Good. So thank you so much, Frank. The next question will be for Sam again. So, in your opinion, what critical elements of lean philosophy are lost in traditional classroom and online training that only appears when you are on the factory floor in Japan?
Right. Yeah, that's a very good question, Mohammed. I would say the human rhythm of this continuous improvement. Let me explain what I mean. So we learn about like Kanban, 5S, all these tools, but here in Japan, it's not like separate independent tools. These are like part of their culture, part of their what they learn from very beginning from their life. And so, for example, like these Japanese it's very famous here. The Japanese discipline, how they like treat each other, how they respect each other. That's very famous in the entire world, right? But that starts from mother to the baby, and from maybe the grade 2, how baby respect mother's job, but mother respect baby's like feelings, everything. Starting from there, then the same continues in the schools. Then when it comes to the workplace, it's in the peak, I would say. And, like they respect they have like um, how manager respect the subordinate respect the manage, and the processors, all these processors roles. What Frank earlier mentioned, what is very important is how we respect the process, the continuous improvement. And this is where this is exactly why it is pretty easy to implement all these principles in Japanese companies, because everyone respects each other's role, and these processes, and they have like collective shared ownership of implementing improving all these processes, and like keep like do the continuous improvements every day. This is, I think, what is missing mainly from the like what we learn, and in the practical here only you can see here in Japan.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sam. I'll get back to you, Frank, again. And my question for you is, what specific problem-solving methodologies or mindset did you observe at Mazda that stood out, and how could teams adopt this kind of thinking?
Okay. I just mentioned it before. It's a little bit about 5S. It was a very clean area. It was very good to see. And we also saw where all the tools are fine, or the spare parts are fine. Everything was very cleaned up in a good way, which is also something like standards. But what even more impressed me, and it also has to do something with problem solving, is they showed us a little area where they had some karakuri solutions. So an area where there are different models with solutions of problems, where they show it, and it was karakuri style. What is karakuri? Karakuri comes out of the 17th century, I think, where they had some puppets. And as you know, in the 7th century, there were no electricity, no sensors, no electronics, no motors. So it was all mechanically solved, which uses gravity, springs, magnetic, not in the 70th century, but nowadays. And so they use simple mechanical thinkings to use, for example, gravity. You can use a robot to bring it somewhere. You can use a conveyor belt to bring something somewhere else. But you can also use the gravity with a slide, yeah, and it rolls down there, and gravity never breaks, so it's there. And these are the thinkings. What I saw, and I said, yeah, wow. And the special thing is not only to use this kind of thinking. The more is they are proud of it. They show it in their way. So if you have a factory tour, it's not like this is our product and this is our new technology. No, they show you the simple solutions where the people in the process by themselves, using this thinking to solve problems, and that's something which we should think about. So I'm also in an institute which is resource efficiency and environmental things. And if we can think about using less energy for some things or less resources for something, then karakuri, which is done by the people itself, so you cannot buy that. Yeah, they make it by themselves. They solve the problem using this thinking out of their history. It's again something which is a long centuries ago in their DNA, we would say, and use it nowadays for production. Yeah, so very clever, very good, very nice to see, and we should learn not to copy that, They have top solutions. Yeah, don't copy the solution, copy the thinking, and say, I have another problem. I have my solution today. And maybe some more insight. I was very impressed when I switched. Sometimes from Europe, you're a little bit in another time zone when you're in Japan. So I switched on the television in the morning, and they had that in the educational channel. They explained Karakuri, the educational channel for the kids. That's crazy, yeah. So we need to see that too and think about that. And there are other companies outside of Japan using this thinking, and we should do that too, and we should see that too. Yeah, and it's very impressive. So yeah, you see, I'm talking and talking about that.
Yeah.
Because it's really
I can
crazy.
I can feel the passion. Yeah. So thank you so much for this, Frank. So
you're welcome.
Yeah. So we are going to give a space for our participants today and attendees to ask their questions to our guests here. But before we do that, I would like to invite the Lean Tours team to share what they provide for anyone who is interested in having or experiencing these kinds of tours. So over to you, Callum. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so if somebody is interested in this tour, so then what we really do initially is you have to just go through the registration. So is that what you mean, Ahmed?
Yeah. How can people register, or for those people who are interested and want to know more about Lean Tours and the upcoming tours? And also go ahead.
Yeah, so that's our main. You can raise questions. So upcoming tour information is in our website. Always it is up to date, and then Sam is looking after that. So then what you can do is just register, and then if you have any questions, so please shoot us an email, and then definitely it'll be replied very soon. And then we got a few tours coming up in Jan, March, or things like that. So then we can discuss all the offers, and then so Lean Tour is very, very helpful, because that as I said earlier, our main ambition is to give you that kind of experience. So it's not like so most of the Lean Tours I've been with some other companies, and they go sightseeing and then all this museum things, and but here this is we do that, but I'm not saying no, but this is mainly just to give you that proper understanding and the education, because you wanna get maximum out of the money you spend on that. So then we are in the tours, before the tour, in the tour, we just to do the questions and answering sessions. Some people just stay 1 a.m. or things like that. So then we really care about your understanding and then comprehension about these tours. So yeah, you can see in on the screen. So you please register and then ask any question, then we'll be answering very soon.
Good. So I opened here the link that Sam shared in the chat. So if you're interested in the upcoming, when is the next tour, Callum or Sam?
Is it in January? Scheduled to January.
January, okay, January 2026. So yeah, so so this is the form that you can use to submit your interest, and then the team will reach out to you with the special offers that they are providing for the participants of today's webinar. And this also applicable for companies. So if companies, so what I learned from the team is that they also arrange for like if a company wants to like send a delegation from their side to these kind of Japan tours, they also have a special offering for that as well. So thank you so much for sharing that, Callum and Sam. So now the floor is open for um, the participants. So you can, if you have any question to ask the panel, just type your questions in the chat, and then we'll be happy to answer them. We'll be happy to answer them by one until the questions come. As I think it was Melchizedek in the beginning, he was asking about the recording of this session. So yes, after the session, we'll share with you the a link to the recording of the session. So the session is being recorded, and we'll also share with you the link to register for the upcoming batch, the upcoming tour in January, along with their special offer for the participants of this webinar. Um, so until uh, people share their questions as well, I would like also to come back to you with a couple of questions that I had in my mind. So this one is for you, Callum, as well, which is from your perspective, what are the top three barriers you encountered when trying to bring Japanese manufacturing principles back to your organization, and how did you overcome them?
The main barrier is that the cultural and then thinking pattern of this Western world, and then Australia, like you guys in Europe or US or wherever you are. So it's the same here, as I said earlier. So it's very, very stubborn type. I'm not saying everywhere, but I've seen this in some of my customers. So they're really reluctant to adopt this. We say, oh, no, it's for Japan, not for us. We are in Australia. And I've seen some of the YouTube videos from UK as well. They're the same. So that's very, that top management help. You know, their support is one of the. I think that's the most important thing in this continuous improvement journey. So if you don't get the top management support, 100%, not 20%, not 30%, 100%. So it'll be very, very hard, to be honest. So that's the main thing. And then when I go to some few of my clients, so then I address the top management, and I do, if I have to 5 presentation, 6 presentation, I do why why we are going to implement this in continuous improvement. That why factor is the most important thing you have to address. And then after that, you know, once you buy in the top management, then it has to cascade down to the middle management and then the other line managers as well. So it's going to be, if you are not into lean, probably let's say for example 5 years, then you start with 2 years, you know, so then 3 years, let's just go step by step. So excuse me. So sometimes you can't, you know, if you have 100 people, probably initially you get only 7 people in supporting you and 93 people are not, but that's okay, just keep going, then little by little they'll be on board. And then that's the first thing. And the second thing is the morning meeting. If you don't have your morning meeting, so then it's just it's 99% unsuccessful your journey is going to be. So then have a morning meeting. It's going to be very important. Just have, you don't have to be a very formal morning meeting, probably little meetings if you want to, or probably once a week at least. So then no need to have a daily meeting from the beginning. Daily is better, but it's going to be more applicable, and then very supportive to your lean journey. So the lean, and as Sam said, the standards. If you don't have standards, you don't know where you're going. So then where you are, and then what's your you know, the target being achieved. So that's what I said. One of my 1,795 pending jobs. So just imagine, just little jobs, but 1,700. So it's a big. So the
Yeah,
standards, and then the morning meetings and the top management support. That's the best, the top of the list. I'm thinking we have to address first of all before we just get onto this CI journey.
good. There is a question here, Callum, from Merrick, if I pronounce it right. So could you briefly talk about the 6 days package, please? What is included in that package?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we start normally Sunday afternoon and then it goes to Saturday morning. What we do is first 2 days, most of the time, it depends on the factory tour availability though. It may be changing depending on the situation, but our rough plan is we're gonna give first 2 days the good workshop, because we have a workshop room there, and then we educate you, because most of some of you are very aware of what lean and kaizen and don't just in time jitoka things are, but some are not. So then we're going to give you a proper understanding about what they are, and then how you're going to be implementing in your environment, and why it is important, and then we're going to give you a proper understanding. But let's say it is for about 1.5 to 2 days time, and then after that, morning afternoon, we got another 3 or 4 days the tours, and then before the tour, we're gonna explain you about the theory part and the practical part, and then the issues we encountered in some of our clients, and then all the information what you're gonna see in that particular tour, and then when you finish the tour, then we're gonna talk about what you see and then how you're gonna implement in your factory in your environment. So likewise, and also the after the let's say two tours per day, and then probably we coming to the hotel. So let's say 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then you have your dinner. And if you want to, then because we all are very experienced, 15 plus experience panel here, and then you can ask 100 questions how you're going to implement in your environment, and then we will help you all the way through. That's as I said, some people they are with us till 1 a.m. and the next morning we have another tour. But that's okay. So then we're going to give you a proper theory parts of the practical experience, and then any question you are facing in your environment, we'll be helping you within that 6 day period. And the mainly is 2 days education about the theory and then the philosophies and the principles, and then the other 3 to 4 days the practical tours. But again,
Yeah.
it may change depending on the tour availability.
Yeah. Good. Thank you so much. But per my understanding, this also because people are traveling to a country that they don't know the language of. So is there any kind of what would be the experience for people from first coming until they leave, in terms of your support for them, how this is managed, and is the staying and the food and that stuff is included in that package?
Yeah, all covered. And as soon as you start from the hotel, then we will let you know what hotel is, and then as soon as you get into that hotel, then you'll be taken care of to the end. So you
Yeah.
transport, the food and accommodation and everything's going to be covered. But you have to the airfare is not covered, and then you have to have a travel insurance. And apart from those two, everything's going to be taken care of, all the tickets and then the bullet trains and accommodation, as I said, the food. Don't worry about anything. And then as soon as you are there, and then till the last minute you're leaving us,
Yeah.
so then you will be covered. And then so you don't have any other expenses, no nothing. So please take your travel
Nice.
insurance and then buy your ticket and just get into Japan, and then you will be fully taken care of. Simple as that.
Good.
And
Thank you.
maybe one thing, like if you want more information, like even how to reach to a hotel, definitely we can help you. We can guide you
Yeah.
how to do that one.
I did also some things, and I was a little bit afraid of what will happen, but it is really not so hard. It's also written in
No.
English, and it's really
Yeah.
it's easy, yeah. But even if it's covered, yeah.
Yeah, and again, it's about mindset that people, I mean, just ask someone, they will anyhow like take you
Absolutely.
it done.
Good. We have another question, and it's about how and when is Kaizen implemented when the line stops? So do they keep the production line until the root cause is identified and fixed, or do they isolate the problem then fix? How do they make the determination of when to keep the line moving? So
That's
if you would you like to answer that question, Frank?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit for me because I mentioned that that line
Yeah.
really stops. Yeah, that's it's a very good question, and that's the thinking. I said to you, yeah, they pull the cord 300 times a shift, yeah, so it's a lot. But this is only micro stops. So mostly it's yellow, which means it doesn't have to stop because they fix it within the takt time. So there is a support there, a honsho, a team leader, which is coming to support you, and he finished the process. You make the next step, if you will, the operator. It's the guy which Callum said, sorry for that, and thank you for having me called me. This is the thing, and he's doing also the whole Kaizen stuff. He thinks about that. If that error occurs again and again, then they have this root cause analysis with the production, with the problem-solving process. The line stops sometimes, then it's getting red. Yeah, that happens, but it's very quick solved. The longer the line stops, the more people come and help. And as mentioned before, if there's a really big issue, then they really stop it and solve that problem, because you cannot work further on. What do you want to do? Do you want to drive cars which are not okay to the next station? And that differs us from the region where I'm coming from. We have a lot of rework stations at the end of the production. They don't have even one. Rework is not there because it's waste. They make the problem solving there where it happens. And if you don't solve the problem, you have a problem. Then you cannot push the car further on, or the product, as is mentioned here. So they keep the line moving, and that's also the target. But they have also some secrets, a secret, which is they have time between the shifts to use that time to solve the problems and to make the more cars, which maybe you lose by stopping the line. And these are the little secrets which you hear from experts when you are there, when you can see that with your own eyes. And that's where I'm really surprised when I see that, and open eyes, and I could stand days or months in that production and seeing new things every minute. This is so crazy. So time is short, mostly too short in these facilities. You can see so many things. So that would be, I hope I said everything about keep production line until the root cause is yes, but mostly they solve it very quick. Yeah. But when we start with this, we all new lean gurus here, mostly we will stand 1 or 2 or 3 days because our problems are so big. Yeah, solve your problems, and then you have time for new production.
And the other thing is when they have an issue, the technicians are very skillful, and anytime they have free time, they keep educating them and uplifting their skills. So I heard that in the COVID time, then they use all the free time to educate uplifting their skills. So they don't waste any time, any minute. So that's how they are.
And that's maybe for the answer for the next question here. Are they trained? Yeah, they are trained. The first 2 months, because when you come into a factory, you don't go production. You are trained, and if you cannot do it, you are out. Sorry, but they only send good people to production, and use this time 2 months to educate the people. Also, you can see value stream mappings on the shop floor. Yes, you can, but that's mostly something for the team leaders, where they optimize not only stations, they also optimize whole flows, and what CI knowledge they have in general. That's maybe a little different thinking. Mostly we ask questions there, how many lean experts do you have? And they don't understand this question. Or we say, what is the lean education? And they don't understand the question, because everybody is TPS thinking. Everybody is trained in that way. Everybody will pull the cord. Everybody will have their ideas shared. Everybody, and they have big trainings for Karakuri. They train 200, 300 people every year for Karakuri, and everybody can do that. So it's not a separate training. It's within the thinking. It's lean thinking. So yeah.
Good. So some people are asking about the price ranges for the travel packages. So how can they know about them?
I'll answer that question, and then it depends on the packages. We got 6 days, 9 days packages, but roughly let's talk about 6-day packages. Most of our packages are probably about 4,000 to 4,500 USD. But we have discount for these participants, and then you register, and then you'll be somewhere around 3,750 to 4,000 USD only for you guys in this webinar.
Nice.
And that covers everything as mentioned before.
Good.
Oh, that sounds nice. I should come too.
So, and that's for how many days? I think you mentioned it's for
That's
6 days, right?
6 days, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then the beauty is that it is not like the little factories we are visiting. We visit in the big shops there, the big companies like Toyota, Mazda, Nissan, Ajinomoto, and all the big brands. So then you will get more out of these tours.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So I would like to thank you so much for the time that you spent with us, and Callum, Sam, and Frank. And I think that was really insightful, and I would say kind of different, and it gives you a very unique perspective. And for we will be sharing with all the participants the recording to this session, and we couldn't answer all the questions, so we'll try to share with you some answers to these questions in the email that we will be sharing. So I saw some questions about the morning meeting, some questions about the other packages as well, and what distinguishes Toyota from the others as well. So we will share the answers to these questions in the follow-up email. So please expect some information about this. So we'll be sharing the recording, the follow-up email as well, and the special offer, and how to register for the upcoming January session, or the January travel or tour. We will be sharing that within 2 days, within 48 hours. So thank you all for joining, and thank you, Sam, Callum, and Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.